In the history of Minecraft, we've seen legends rise and fall. We saw the era of the technical geniuses, the era of the speedrunners, and the era of the gladiators. But in the modern 1.9 combat era, the community hit a wall. We thought we knew what the ceiling of a human skill would look like. We thought we knew how fast the player could swap items and how perfectly they could timing a maze strike. Then came Marlow. She didn't just break the ceiling, she acted like it never existed. For the past year, Marlow has been the most polarizing figure in the Minecraft community. To some, she is the undisputed queen of PvP and mechanical goodness who refined the meta. To others, she is the most sophisticated fraud of the game has ever seen. Today, we are going to peel back the layers of the mystery, from her meteoric rise through the tier list to the frame-by-frame breakdowns of her alleged cheats, and her legendary role in the unstable universe. This is the complete story of Marlow. To understand Marlow, you first have to understand the world she conquered. MC Tiers. This isn't your average Bedwars lobby. This is a community where players are ranked from Tier 5 to Tier 1, based on their raw mechanical skills in various kits, like crystals, netherite pot, and UHC. Marlow didn't just reach Tier 1, she climbed the high Tier 1. In a game played by millions, there are perhaps only 10 people at any given time who can truly claim to be high Tier 1. It requires a level of focus that is bordering on the superhuman. You aren't just clicking, you are calculating velocities, tracking internal cooldowns, and predicting your opponent's movement 3 seconds into the future. Marlow's goal was never just to play Minecraft, she wanted to dominate it. Her early videos weren't about fun, they were displays of absolute efficiency. She became the face of the maze meta, while other players were struggling to land a single hit. With the maze wind charge mechanic, Marlow was landing triple swaps and one-shooting the best players in the world. She became the final boss. If you were an aspiring pro, your career didn't start until you survived a round with Marlow. And for a long time, nobody did. When you are the best, you have a target on your back. But the target on Marlow's back wasn't just about jealousy, it was about math. In late 2025, a wave of skepticism began to wash over the PvP community. It started on Discord servers and eventually exploded onto YouTube. The primary accusation? Macroing and closest cheating. A creator named Refone released a video that changed everything. He didn't just say she was sus, he did a frame-by-frame analysis of her inputs. The most damning evidence involved attribute swapping. This is a technique where a player switches items in their hotbar at the exact millisecond, required to stack damage attributes. Refone's analysis showed that in dozens of clips, Marlow swaps happen in exactly 3 frames, not 2, not 4, consistently 3. To the human hand, that level of consistency is nearly impossible. It suggested the use of a swapping macro, a script that automates the timing. Then came the hotbar skip. In a now infamous clip, Marlow's selector appeared to skip over an item slot entirely, yet the item was still placed. Marlow blamed this on Exordium, a rendering mod. However, the community reached out to the developers, who stated that such a bug was not known feature of the mod. The fire was lit, and the internet was ready to watch the queen burn. The drama reached the boiling point where a player named Vexay challenged Marlow. The stakes were high, $350 for a 1v1 duel. For most Minecraft players, that's a massive payday for 10 minutes of work. But there was a condition. The duel had to make a place on Mine Man Club. Why Mine Man Club? Because Mine Club was anti-cheat, arguably the most advanced detection system in the game. It doesn't just look for file hacks, it looks for reach, aim assist, and unfair clicking patterns. Marlow refused the duel. This refusal sent shockwaves through the community. The logic from her crisis was simple. If you are the best player in the world and someone offers you $350 to play a game you already mastered, why would you say no? Unless, of course, you knew what that anti-cheat would catch something your own recordings were hiding. Marlow argued that she didn't need to prove herself to anyone, but in the eyes of the public, the no was as good as a confession. Facing a total collapse of her reputation, Marlow did what every accused cheater eventually does. She released a handcam. In the video, you see her setup. You see her hands. You see her rhythmic, violent clickings of her mouse. The handcam showed her performing the same inside maneuvers she did in her montages. It seemed to prove that her fingers really were that fast. But the skeptics didn't back down. They pointed out a handcam doesn't prove you are using a reach modifier for a velocity script, which are invisible to the naked eye. They also noted that she was playing on a different PC than her usual one. So, what's the truth? The truth is that Marlow exists in a superposition. She's talented enough to be tier 1 without cheats, but the evidence suggests she may have used assistance to reach the number 1 spot. I think the people of the PvP community are just complaining about her being so good. The skill is unreal, so that's why she is the number 1 high tier PvPer in the world. While the competitive scene was focused on her mouse clicks, a whole new audience was discovering Marlow through the Unstable universe. In the Unstable universe, Marlow wasn't just a PvPer, she was a legend. She joined the story as a member of the Minecraft Mafia, often acting like the enforcer or the final boss of the server. Her character, Marlow, was terrifying. She would use her real-world PvP skills to hunt down players like Parrot and Theo, turning scripted lore into a genuine survival horror experience. Unfortunately, Marlow has only played in one of the Unstable SMP videos, and it was the Mafia Tomb. She stood guard over the server's most valuable secret, and anyone who wanted to pass her had to face her in a trial. She played the role of the silent little protector perfectly. On the Unstable SMP, it didn't matter if she used macros or not. Her presence would create tension. She brought a level of combat legitimacy to the story that few other creators would provide. In the Unstable SMP, Marlow wasn't a girl with a controversial past. She was the god of the war. Despite her massive fame, Marlow is a ghost. In an age where every YouTuber does a face reveal or a vlog, Marlow has remained almost entirely anonymous. We know she is a female, which is in the toxic corners of the PvP world led to an unfortunate amount of extra scrutiny. We know she is deeply connected to the other high players like Danger Mario and Theobald the Bird, but beyond that, there is nothing. No real name, no location, no face. She had turned her privacy into a brand. By staying in the shadows, she makes her gameplay the only thing people can talk about. There are rumors that she manages a successful business behind the scenes, offering PvP coaching to wealthy players for hundreds of dollars an hour, and that she has a sharp mind for the business side of the Discord and YouTube. She isn't just a gamer, she's a professional who knows exactly how to gatekeep her own identity. So, who is Marlow? Is she the greatest player to ever pick up a sword, a girl who trained so hard she became indistinguishable from a computer? Or is she a clever manipulator who knew exactly how to use the gray areas of Minecraft's code to become a superstar. Let's quickly go back to the unstable universe where Marlow plays in the tomb of the Mafia. The lore of her character is actually a beautiful reflection of her real-life situation. In the SMP, she says, "I'm only pretending to be a monster to scare people away." This line hits home for her fans. In the PvP community, she's also often threatened like a monster or a final boss because of her skill, but in reality, she's the one protecting the community. On the SMP, Marlow showed a side that was selfless and protective. She stayed in the tomb to keep the Mafia secret safe, sacrificing her own freedom so others could live. When she fought Theobald the Bird, she saw his bravery. She didn't just kill him, she spared him. She showed him mercy. This wasn't just scripted lore, it speaks into her personality. She has a deep respect for those who show heart and effort, and she uses her power not to bully, but to challenge and inspire. At the end of the day, not everyone is going to love Marlow. When you're at the top, people are always waiting for you to trip up. But for me, I really like Marlow. Beyond the crazy PvP clips, she's just a genuinely great and helpful person. Whenever she's mentoring new players or making us laugh, she leads with kindness. She's funny, she's sharp, and she's a legend in the making. And honestly, seeing how good she is, I never wanna be on the bad side. I believe in her, and I can't wait to see what she does next. Thank you for watching, make sure to subscribe and like for more videos. Goodbye.